Hi, everybody. Welcome to Waterline Riders and welcome to Climate Crisis Solutions. I hope you were all outside today, enjoying every minute of this beautiful day. It's so easy to enjoy a beautiful day on this beautiful planet. It's harder to come inside, to come together, to consider its health and our future. Thank you for coming. I want to thank James Jenkins and Monica Jenkins, especially for being here tonight. Jim is the juror for the Climate Crisis Solutions art exhibit at Water Street Studios, and Monica Jenkins is a climate activist, and she proposed the poetry contest for tonight and the inclusion of tonight's performance artist, Luis Mexico. She's also arranged for some of the speakers who will give lectures throughout the rest of the event series. I'll admit that I was initially frustrated by the term climate crisis solutions, which was chosen by Water Street Studios as the title of their event series. As a writer, I think a lot about choosing the right words and about the effects of words, and especially when chosen carefully. I suspected that we would get very little in the way of solutions and that we would encounter a lot of frustration, and I was somewhat right about that. But what you will hear tonight is beginnings, starting points, even seeds, if you will. For instance, Joe Picciotto, I never even asked you, Picciotto? Yep. Joe Picciotto is here from Three Plaid Farmers, which is a small community-supported agricultural farm. And he is reading about the importance of what he does, which I can attest to because we've been members of his CSA for 3 years now, and we love the food. I've eaten so many things I didn't even know existed until I was 55. The food is wonderful. In addition to Joe, Ray Zemer is reading a short story excerpt suggesting a future in which people have to move past their differences in order to survive. And we have another prose piece by Don Bingle, which is steampunk fiction, which imagines an alternative history for alternative energy. In fact, Donna Pucciani, who's the winner of tonight's poetry contest, withdrew her winning poem at one point because she felt that she was better at raising questions and making observations than at coming up with solutions. And she's probably right so far, but I think she's only begun to write about them. And another of tonight's writers, honorable mention poet Jim Lewis, who's not here with us tonight, he seems to have found further inspiration through this process. He sent me several additional poems, one inspired by the words Waterline, and two more inspired by a Facebook exchange that we had about whether or not he should fly here from California to read his poem and how that might affect his carbon footprint. And the poems are great. You won't hear them here tonight, but I think we'll include them in April or May. I'll let poetry judge Kristen Latour speak about the other poets as she introduces them. But I just wanted to say I've come to think about tonight not only as the beginning of the Climate Crisis Solutions event series, but as a launch pad for those who want very much to write what they care about what they care about. Towards that end of starting where you are, which we all must do, I just wanted to mention that the workshop sessions that I hold on Sunday nights, which I call Galleries Are for Writers Too, will be focused on climate crisis issues for the next couple of weeks on March 29th and April 12th. So for those two nights, we want to encourage people to try to write about climate solutions, even if they don't feel that they have the solutions. We think that as people write about something, as they do research and think deeply, they'll find insights and connections, and maybe even solutions in surprising places. And right now, one of those surprising places is Water Street Studios, which is a gallery that is right now full of art inspired by the earth, our home, and its climate issues. So whether you want to write a heavily footnoted piece of hard science or a poem that makes the science accessible to a larger audience, whether you want to write an essay about how we might move past polarization and paralysis and towards rational dialogue and consensus, or a novel in which those possibilities are modeled for us to emulate, whether you write a heavy tome or a tiny haiku, we have the perfect opportunity to find out what roles art can play in those processes. So here on Sunday nights, March 29th and April 12th, come and join us. Find insights, make connections, and learn to trust the importance of your words and what they can create in the world. So I'm not frustrated by the words climate crisis solutions anymore. I know it's a process, and tonight is a good beginning. And with that, I'd like to have Kevin come back up and introduce our first writer.
Thanks, Em.